You looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the waves.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by having a conversation with our guests about their upbringings, where they discovered self-awareness, where they used the self-concept, and how they went through their journey in life to get where they are now. Today, I got with me a young artist that got my attention. I got my attention because of TGT Entertainment.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you guys for reaching out. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Marcolen Hayes, a
Yes, sir.
songwriter artist from Miami. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
man? How are you?
How you doing, man? Yeah, nice to meet you. I came over the mic. I was like,
Yo, you do whatever you want, man. We're here chilling,
Appreciate
doing our
it.
thing. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
like I said, TGT Entertainment reached out. I looked at your body of work, and I was like, damn, man, he's doing something.
yeah, man, we're constantly pushing, man, and we're constantly just putting in work because that's what's
Yeah.
going to come out of it, you know?
Yeah, I know. I see that you have like some sort of a concept, which is why you're wearing like the whole.
Yeah, we were having a conversation before. It's because, it's kind of just like being in character, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, you're
being
an
in a
artist.
sense, you're an artist, so depending on what season is, what mood you're in,
Exactly.
you can play off of that, and
Yeah, people
it keeps
feed
things
off
interesting.
it and like it. Exactly.
It's entertaining,
So
yeah.
all respect, man. I like that.
Definitely
Originality is always key.
is, brother.
Tradition is good, but originality brings new traditions, which we evolve, right?
Yep.
So that's what the podcast is about. Knowledge of self,
Knowledge of self,
evolving,
okay.
self-awareness, self-concept. So, like, let's start where you first had, like, your first conscious thought as a kid. Like, that you remember, like,
kid.
the farthest back.
Farthest back, I think it would be, man, maybe I was like 5 or 6, around
What's
there,
that thought?
7.
What's that
and
memory?
the thought is a weird thought. It's a scar that I have over my knee.
Oh, all right.
And it's like a funny story that I had with my cousins. We used to, because I was born in New York. I was raised in here in Miami.
Okay,
so
what
I
part of
came
New York?
down Washington Heights is where all the
Nice.
Dominicans are. But I'm Cuban Dominican, but was raised in my Cuban family.
That's awesome.
And long story short, my cousins, we were playing in the basement. They had fucking, can I curse?
Yeah?
Yeah, they had threw me, and I had scraped my fucking knee, dog. And I was like, I'm never going down that place again, or it was too dark
And you
there.
remember
or,
that traumatic.
And I remember, okay, pain means this. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Fear means this, and that's kind of things that I had
You were
picked up.
5. So
Yeah,
from
I
that,
was
you were
about-
elementary school doing your thing.
Yeah, about
So
second grade, something like
is
that.
music the only art you ever were interested in as a kid, or did you venture off to like acting or something like that?
A little bit of everything, to be honest, but music was definitely the standpoint that helped me get over just being in fear of the camera or being in fear of the audience and stuff like that. But I've done, we had opened a clothing line, Glory Days, 40 Nights, and then I've written scripts before, movie scripts, stuff like that, screenwriting, stuff like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, and that's just going off of like just not having a lot of opportunity around and creating some.
And where'd you get all that information from?
I'm not even sure, really. I used to just read a lot of books, man, to be honest with you. That
That's
was
the
one
key,
thing.
bro.
I used to read a lot, and in high school, language arts, social studies, I just like to read. I like to read
So
about
words
history and stuff.
phrases and letters were all that's
Definitely.
dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
definitely. Like all
So 5 years old, elementary school. So I'm guessing in middle school is when you really picked up the music.
I think so. At that time, we were kind of just figuring ourselves out and what we like to listen to. This is a conversation we had about a few weeks ago. Me and the guys, like, damn, what were we really growing up to? And it was like what was playing at that time.
What year was this? T.I.
This is like I'm early 2000s, like around that. You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
And
I was
this
already
is
in my
middle
20s
school.
in that
Yeah, but middle school it was just different. We were kind of just soaking up whatever media was kind of throwing at us.
What
And
was your favorite one? What was your favorite artist?
Man, I liked Hot Boys. I liked, again, T.I., Jeezy, stuff like that. But I listened back and I'm like, Wu-Tang, Bone Thugs comes up.
Yeah,
The
that's a given
That's
because
all-
they were
yeah.
so pushed to the masses.
Yeah, at that
But
point.
like Hot Boys at the time, you either were from the South because they weren't
Yeah.
really listening to that.
Yeah, nah, we were. It depended really. It depended because what we were listening to was
Yeah.
Bling Bling and all the media stuff
Exactly.
they had, and then we went back to Big Timers. We're like, yo, the Manny Fresh. I was like obsessed with the Hot Boys at one point, and the No Limit a little here and there.
Hell yeah.
But then I got older and I started listening to a lot of Biggie, a lot of Tupac, a lot
Expanding,
of political
evolving.
stuff. Yeah, and it kind of you just
So you
evolve
had
like
the
that.
self-awareness, you were conscious, you had conscious thoughts.
Mhm.
You started listening to music.
Yeah.
Started listening to South music.
Mm-hmm.
and then you started developing the self concept.
Some type
right?
of
So what was the first like? Take us to that place where you were like, all right, like, man in the mirror, like this is what I'm gonna do.
Man, I think it was me coming back down. I'm being sent back. My mother, she had did some time up the road, and they had sent me to New York when I was younger.
Okay.
So when I had came back a couple years later,
How'd you feel when that happened, man? Because you were conscious, so I want to know your thought.
my thought was, wow, this is an amazing feeling that I haven't felt before. It's something it's very eye opening
Okay.
to me, as in just realizing that this can take me somewhere, or this can make me this happy, this can feed my family, this can, you know what I mean? So it was more of an excited feeling to be like, yo, I think I can really do this. I think that this is something that, you know, it's something that's, I don't really know what it is yet. It's a
spark,
seed,
bro.
you know, it's a seed that we're planting, and it's very hard to find that amongst people. People are still trying to find themselves every day. You know what I mean? And I'm blessed.
Try to help them find the spark.
Yeah, man. So it was just a euphoric feeling. I feel like it's kind of unexplainable in the sense, because what is that feeling of euphoria? It's happiness. We can eat things and we can.
It's different for everybody, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So
I
it can
think
be.
That's the not a problem, but an issue with people, that people want other people to be like how they are,
or they want them to feel like how they feel.
like, yo, you don't like that, like,
yeah.
And then they made up this fucking word. I hate this word, hater, bro. I hate that word.
Oh yeah. Yo, my kids know, man. I don't even use that word.
I hate it because hate to me, when I was a kid, when you hated somebody, it was
hated them.
It was on sight. It was not a good
that's
thing.
A fact.
It was like dangerous.
That's a fact.
And then all of a sudden, I started hearing people talk about, oh, you're a hater.
You're a hater. Like, hey,
and I'm
calm
like,
it down. What you
I'm
talking
looking
about?
around like, yo, you're
I don't
giving
got that much
word
energy. Yeah.
Like that word's a little drastic.
Yeah, that's something really that I don't say. I actually don't use the word hate in like speech or nothing like that. I dislike motherfuckers, really. You know what I mean? I really dislike motherfuckers. But I don't hate people, because I feel like hate is it's energy. Energy has to be transferred. So as soon as you stop hating one thing, then what happens? It transfers to something else.
I think, I mean, these kids are just not informed, man, or people are not informed, so that they turn to the anger. One thing I've learned about educated people and people that really have deep thoughts and use their mind,
definitely,
they don't get angry.
It's hard to, when you understand what reactions do.
Correct. You understand everything. So you know the psyche, you know body language, you understand every little aspect of the argument. So you're really like Jay-Z said it. He goes, yo, people think I'm arrogant. I'm not arrogant. I just don't want to argue about dumb shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
When you're amongst friends, you could talk shit. But like,
it's like
call
at the
somebody a
barbershop,
hater, I'm like, yo, man.
Yeah, you really. It's like, what are you like, trying to inflict? Like you're trying to bring energy that's not there. But some people thrive off of that. I mean, that's the problem.
I grew up in a time when they're like, yo, you don't like something? Why? Oh, damn, for real? Okay, I never thought of that. You just keep it right. Now it's like you have to agree. If you don't agree, you're a hater. And I'm like, I want to.
You're a hater, you're getting canceled.
Nobody's a hater. People just don't like things or do like things.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own choice. Knowledge is self. Know what you like and listen to your intuition.
Self-awareness, yeah.
Self-awareness, because if not, you're following suit. And if you follow suit, you might not like your life at the end.
Yeah.
Or you might regret a lot.
Yeah. I was at a point in my life, man, that I really couldn't shut it off. I couldn't shut off the noise. You know, and I meant noise of, it could be bills, it can be just traumas, it can be, you know what I mean? And I think at that point, it's like, you really got to look at yourself and understand, like, where is my life going? Where is my spirit taking me? Where is, you know what I mean? Yeah. You sit there, and now I have those days that I have to be in silence for maybe about an hour or two, just to really be in my thoughts and not be afraid of them.
I wish I had an hour or two, man. I try, man. But my schedule's busy all day. I got two kids. I got the shop, and then I got the podcast, and then I have other things that I have to work in.
You're working.
Well, I'm moving, because
I haven't worked in a long time, man.
Though, because I feel that if you do what you love, you don't really work. Like,
that's it. Yeah.
You know how you would write and act or rap or sing for free, and now if they pay you for it, you're like, hell yeah. Yeah. Are you really working?
Yeah.
You're not. Really
it's
working.
A passion. It's more of a passion.
So I was cutting hair back in the days for free, and I was loving it. And now they're paying me for it. I'm like, yo.
All right, this is a plus.
It's a plus. So the day moves fast, you know, when you're having fun. You know. When you're working like hourly, like waiting, that's the worst. So
and there's a lot of people that's still trapped in it, and and that's not me knocking them.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it's not me knocking them, because I've worked many 9 to 5s. So
have I.
I've hustled on the side. I've done everything, and I think the only way to truly get that financial freedom is That exactly.
Yeah, just
you know
do
what I mean?
if you do
Being
what
financial
you
literate.
love and not really feel like you're working, you're winning in life. Doesn't matter how much you're getting out of it as
Mixing
far as
it with
finances.
to an extent. To an extent,
Man,
I feel like it's kind of a give or take, because if you push more with passion, then it's like at the end you do feel more fulfilled. But then there's people that, you know, put a little bit more of that financial literacy and that background to
Yeah.
it, that business, and maybe they
Yes.
might seem a little bit more hungry or
Yeah.
seem a little bit more arrogant, like how you were saying.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have just been through a lot and they don't want to be fucked over.
Correct. And
So
some
this
people
music
don't even
business,
communicate what
music
they-
business is like that, bro. And especially
know.
in Miami, it's
Trust
fucking,
me, we're
it's
talking to
horrible.
Brandon right now.
Yeah.
From Beatwave. Just being around him and watching him grow, I've
Yeah.
seen him and I've heard stories of things he's gone through, and I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. We've had talks in the studio.
It's-
Shout out Miami Beat Wave. That's like
man,
my
shout
guy.
out to Brandon for Miami Beatwave.
Yeah, facts.
But
No
yeah,
doubt.
let's go back. You're going to New York, so you were a teenager at that time.
So yes, I was a teenager. I was being sent over there because my old girl had went up the road, and they were just like, you got to stay with family. So I was just jumping around houses and stuff and just trying to finish high school while still being in the streets over there and like getting worse into the streets. And then I'm like, there's no end to this. Like, where does it end? You know? And then
It was
that's where,
easy
like,
to get caught up.
it's because what else is there to do?
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
real opportunity over there.
I mean,
You know
there's
what
so
I
many
mean?
people in New York. I mean, I've never lived in New York, but
I mean, to be
I
at
could-
an
I could
age,
imagine, you know?
this is like early 2000s, you know what I mean? And this, to be at that age, it's like you're seeing what older men are doing and everybody's hustling, or you're seeing what
Yeah,
the
you
old
see
girls
a
are
way
doing. They're in the
out,
hospital,
but
you know? So it's like you got to kind of figure out what you're going to do. So, or just go to the streets. And I think that's what it was. And they had sent me back. And they were like, yo, you're doing too much over there. Come back over
like, you
here.
were getting
Finish
caught up,
here.
so they sent you back down.
They sent me back here, and they had told me, yo, you know, your mom's is getting out. We're going to send you back. She didn't get out until I was 21. They sent me back when I was 17, 16.
Oh, okay.
So thank God they did, to be honest with you, because who knows? To be
So did
honest.
all that experience think alter your style?
It altered my perspective on life, and that's when I came back down and I was doing mixtapes. We were freestyling in the cars. We were just like those kids that will get one car and it's like we fit 5 people in there. And we had some
Right,
weed
so when you
and some
went to
black
New
amounts.
York,
Uh-huh.
you were already writing and rapping and all that, or no?
I did one song, actually, 1 or 2 songs, but I wasn't. It wasn't something that I was able to take with me. It was more
It
of
was
like,
for
let's
fun.
see how,
Yeah.
let's see how it sounds. But I wasn't taking it serious at that point.
Okay.
If that's where you're,
Yeah,
where
that's
you're
where I was
getting
going.
it.
Then from there, you kept developing.
Yes, yeah.
The concept.
After a while, just being around a lot of people and being around my family up there, they're everybody freestyles. We're in the neighborhoods, just trying to figure out.
So what was that first? Let's say it again. The spark that you were like, boom, I could do this, or I should do this.
It wasn't in New York.
It was down here?
It was down here, brother. Yeah,
Okay.
it was down here. My bad if I was trying
So
to
let's
speed it
fast
ahead.
forward.
Yeah, my
We're
fault,
here
my
now.
fault. And it was just sitting in my room and thinking about everything that's been going on in the past 3 or 4 years. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's something that can keep us busy and, you know, maybe put some money in our pocket, you know what I mean? In
Yeah,
a type
yeah.
of way.
That's the goal, right?
And I just was hearing myself, and everybody was like, yo, you should record something. You should record something. We used to have these ciphers in my house. I have like
Nice.
8 or 9 people. And
Your crew?
Yeah. And this is like
Nice.
different people from my high school and stuff.
Yeah.
And we would all chill. Everybody would light up like 8 or 9 joints. And then we would just rap. And then at the end of the day, I was like, I think I really want to do this. And, you know, respectfully, a lot of people that were with us, they're not
Yeah.
doing it anymore. But
Yeah,
we're
they,
still
they
here.
didn't have the drive. Then what?
Yeah.
What was that? That's what I want to pinpoint.
That's where you're trying to pimp. That's
I'm
why
trying to
I'm trying to
pinpoint
dig
that-
deep. I'm trying to dig deep.
Like I'm trying to picture this. You
Mhm.
back in the days watching this podcast or watching you, like, oh, I follow him. Let's
Mhm.
see what he has to say. Maybe something you say to them from your experience will lead them towards what they want to do. No fear. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of people, like we said, are afraid to make a move or decide or just say,
That's
no, I
what
don't
it-
want to do that.
That's really what it was, man. It was just having the drive, bro, and to feel this euphoria of doing something that's gonna be in a positive way, whatever you're going through in your life. And that was the moment that I was like, I can't keep doing what I'm doing. I need to express myself in a way that it's gonna be healthy and it's not gonna be me going back to the streets.
So you had
or-
this conversation with yourself.
Yeah, I had to. I had
Okay.
to plenty of times. You know, everybody has this conversation with themselves
All right, then let's-
at that
so
point.
after that conversation, what was the first step
first
you took
push?
towards that goal?
I had contacted one of my people. One of my people, his cousin was a producer, and he was working with like Cool and Dre and a few other people and
Nice.
stuff. At that point, I didn't really, I wasn't really hip of what Miami hip hop was. Besides, before that,
Besides
Trick and
tabletops and rapping with your friends.
yeah,
I feel you.
exactly. So long story short, we did a mixtape, but then something ended up happening to it and it got trashed. Like it got discarded, and I was
How'd
like,
you feel
what
after
the
that? You're
fuck?
like-
Oh my god!
You know what
I'm
happened
like,
to Rizzo, right?
Really?
With the Wu-Tang album.
Yo, and it was like 17 tracks. It was like my first real something to
He
hear
had
myself
to
on.
recreate that whole album.
And it was crazy. It was a crazy feeling. And I feel like that was another make or break. Like, yo, if I keep doing this, it's gonna involve more money and more resources and more energy.
You think that was like something mystical, maybe?
Something it needed to happen. 'Cause
Spiritually,
if it
that's like,
wasn't,
yo, if it was too easy, then it would be too easy.
that's
right?
a fact. That's a fact. And I speak to people now that they know me back in the days. They knew, like, they see me start.
They
and
seen
they're
the
like,
struggle, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, bro, you come so far. Like, we've opened for everybody that used to come to Miami the past few years before a pandemic. And it's just they would say just to see the growth, and to jump back, it was a feeling, man. It was a feeling that, again, you really can't explain. You have to be in the moment. You have to sit down and be able to listen to yourself and to be able to calm down the noise. You know what I mean? And all that turbulence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the noise. That's what we were talking about. Everybody has phone, job, girl, school. Nobody really like settles.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
Definitely.
good that you said that, man. That's awesome. You guys heard? Meditate at least what?
At least an hour or
hour
two
a day.
If you can do 30 minutes, and I had called that from my brother, shout out Kua, and he was pushing that yo, we should try to like tone down that noise in our head and focus. And if we're gonna be in tunnel vision, like let's really lock in.
So he's like your side.
He's like, no, yeah, he's one of the partners of TGT Entertainment. Shout out Zay, shout out Adrian, shout out Kuba.
Shout out to you
Shout out
guys.
the guys. That's the main partners. And then Jaden he's one of the guys we manage in the media group with Jack. And then the other artist, Jeff Stones, which is my brother. I'm gonna see him after this.
So it's
actually
a full crew.
Yeah, man. We're like the new NWO / the firm. You know what I mean? Like we're like the firm, but like, NWO.
I see
so
it
we're
too.
called
You
the
guys
set.
are creative,
you know what I mean?
man, and you guys are doing, like I said, everything right. Everything looks nice, crisp, clear. The lyrics are there, the sound's there, the bass is there.
Definitely, yeah.
That's
definitely.
what I liked about that. What song is that?
It's for the set.
The
for the
set.
set. Yeah.
I haven't heard that in a minute.
Yeah, definitely. And it was crazy because we recorded it about 2 years ago, and I'm thinking to myself, I said, damn, do I really want to put this type of music out when I'm already kind of on this R&B hip hop?
Why not?
Or this, you know what I mean? But I said, it's fun. It only keeps things interesting.
I mean,
like that.
when I saw it, all I could tell you is how I felt about it. I looked at it, I was like, yo, that's dope. And then I was like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah. Facts,
you feel me?
Facts,
I didn't
facts.
really think it like, why is he doing both? I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Because growing up here in Miami, I was always in the hip hop scene, so I've been around artists.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends that have dabbled in different sounds,
Nice.
and then they always come back to the hip hop.
That's what it is, brother. That's what it
It's
is.
just
It's
what
where
we
we
were
started.
raised with.
It's where we started. I love R&B though. Right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. The R&B game is ridiculous.
I
But
love R&B
hip-hop,
when it's done with like style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With like a
definitely.
nice flavor to it. You're like, all right, bet this is because in the '90s when I was the real R&B, and I say the real one because that's the one I consider real.
Who would you say top three?
That I can't say.
Top five.
It all depends the zodiac sign of the girl.
Okay.
It depends. It depends the time of the day.
Heard that.
But if I had to say one like off rip, I don't know, man. There's a lot.
I would say Aaliyah.
Yeah, but Aaliyah was more like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She was younger
I
too.
listened to more Mary J. Just
Mary
because
J. Yeah.
I like Mary J.
Yeah, definitely.
Mary J was dope.
Definitely.
And then you had, your Jodeci's.
Boys to Men.
Boyz II Men was ill.
Yeah.
Boyz II Men was ill. But that was like commercialized. It was more like when you go down like Keith Sweat,
Yeah.
things like that. When you go more into the underground, you're like, damn, these are
It was different back in the days. It was
a
different.
lot.
And
What's his name? John B? Yeah.
John B. Yes, definitely.
He had
definitely.
flavor. I was like, I bet. And then he did a Tupac track, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Very
Tupac was
few
doing a
R&B
lot.
artists. It's
But
Jodeci
John
and
B.
John B.
He actually had I think he was releasing music recently. I was
Word?
trying to listen a little here and there, John B, but it's like if it's not drill music right now or a type of music that's like violent or it doesn't get that much engagement unless you're strategic and you're putting out your marketing.
Yeah, but violence sells always, man. But if
But
you
that
make
sucks,
it funky,
dog. That sucks. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, it's like a movie. I don't really. People put a lot of focus on music, like if it's like not like actors.
Yeah.
You watch a movie, you watch Gladiator, they like cut their heads off. You're like, oh, that was a good movie, and then you like keep it going.
Yeah.
And
But
when
it's
you
not
see
like
that
that.
act, when you see Russell Crowe, you're not like, yo, this guy's
It's not like
kill.
that in music.
In
But
music, if he goes, yo, I'm gonna shoot, pop, pop, oh shit, and then when you see him, yo, he's a shooter. Like, yo, chill. Like,
Yeah.
He's just painting a picture. Like, chill.
It's from what, that's where I was getting at. Is a lot of the times it's like growing up from different experiences. You know, I'm kind of
telling
stories of people or myself or just, you know, your environment and stuff. And it's like,
you're showing people your surroundings without pictures, just words, and that's how I see music.
Yeah,
I don't really see it like to the point where it's like, yo, it's dangerous or violent.
Yeah,
it's more violent. I just finished watching Gladiator 2. This guy
how
cut his
it?
arm off.
I'm getting mixed reviews about it.
I mean, I'm a fan, so I was expecting more.
Okay.
Because Russell Crowe's character is like, whoa, like they took it there. And Ridley Scott, he took it to another dimension. I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Like you feel like you're there.
Okay.
They kind of redid the same movie again.
But what?
Okay, Gladiator. He gets, he's a warrior, then he gets into slavery, and then he has to fight his way gladiators back to get to the emperor,
throne, basically. Yeah.
So he could kill the emperor. Well, this one's the same thing. He gets
it's the nephew, I think. No, is it the nephew of Russell Crowe?
You want me to tell you?
Nah, I don't want to know. I don't want
to know. Somebody in the family, and then he gets thrown into that situation, and he wants to kill the general because of something that happened. So it was the same thing. It's like, okay, they killed somebody I love. Now I want to kill this guy.
They just threw a little Denzel in it.
Denzel. To me, it seemed like he finished. What's the movie he did? Gangster? No, what was it? American Gangster?
Yeah.
It's like if they time traveled to Rome and he just got off and was like, hey, same type of acting, same type of mannerisms.
Really? I was
expecting different. I was like, yo, it's like American Gangster in Rome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's the thing is that they put it up there on a pedestal. So it's like Gladiator. Come on, I'm still watching Gladiator. When did it come out? 01, 02?
Yeah, no, that was more.
What, 98, maybe like 99?
No, not 90. I think it was 99, 2000, maybe.
Yeah, maybe because that's an amazing story. You know how the guy he struggles and goes through all these trials and tribulations to get to peace, and what peace is for him. That's what I do. I watch it and I'm like, damn, this is inspiring. I got to go harder. I got to go harder for me, my family.
Painted an amazing picture, right?
But that's what movies are about.
Mad violence.
That's what,
he did. Tigers ripping you apart, and nobody, like we said, like music paints that picture, so I don't see it that way.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, I'm glad you do, because at the end of the day, I do want my audience to know that I'm like a real all-around like songwriter and artist. I love R&B, but then sometimes I like doing some rap stuff. Sometimes I like doing alternative. Like I'm always being put in a box, I feel like, a lot of the times. And
nah, man,
you never know.
Don't ever let nobody put you in a box.
Definitely not. Here, never. But, you know, in the sense of conversation. And that's cool also, because then it gives me that motivation to be like proving people wrong, or just to be able to check the table and be like, hold on, look, I got more to offer than whatever you thought I was a year ago.
I had asked, I was like, yo, what does he want to drink? So we could, he's like, oh, he doesn't drink. I was like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I haven't, I had stopped drinking a while ago. I'm still
smart.
It was just tunnel vision. It was just the moment in time.
It derails you, man. It's
a vice I couldn't afford
especially
at
in
the
Miami.
moment. Yeah.
In Miami, it's everywhere.
And we're at events, we're doing performances, we're hosting.
You gotta be on point,
We're drinking all the time, you know what I mean? Especially myself.
And now there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, but it was more of like, what was it doing to me? It was deteriorating me and my vision, and it was keeping me sloppy. So now, even if I'm not sleeping as much, I'm still going hard, and I still can do that, and then I'll catch up on sleep later. But when you're drunk all the time, your body, it just goes through it, or hungover, and I didn't like how it felt. I wanted to be ahead of the competition, you know what I mean?
Damn, that's dope. All right, so now that you're in Miami and you got the self-concept, self-awareness, how did you gather your crew?
Man, we kind of were all together already.
Since high school?
The same guys, the same guys since middle school. Awesome, and that's a blessing, because like looking back at like middle school pictures and stuff, we're like, yo, who would have thought 20 years later, like we're still doing this? We had actually just did a drive. It was called Feed the Homies, and we went out downtown. And every year we do this. We go to downtown, we feel like 100 people.
What month do you do it in?
No, we do it on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every year. So it's been, I think we're on year 6 right now.
That's dope.
So we had went out and, you know, we had fed everybody and stuff. And it's just like a good vibe. It's not like bringing a whole bunch of cameras out there.
You do what you can.
Yeah. You know, it's just more of just like seeing people's expressions and faces and seeing what it does to us. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this feels great to get
good
back.
Energy, like you were talking about.
Yeah,
that energy is coming.
It feels great.
You got to write about that.
These are the same guys, man. These are the same guys, and it was easy to put everybody together because everybody knew their position and they knew that when we're together, we're a closed fist.
Oh, where did I hear that? That was like some Bruce Lee thing. I bet. So then you started with the crew. You started doing what? Recording first, or you were doing shows?
We started recording. We were just putting out music and stuff, and people were like, okay, in house parties, they're rocking with it in our neighborhoods from North Beach to North Miami to Little River, you know.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, this is happening, so we need to go on stage. So the first time I think we went on stage, it was to open up for Dead Prez.
Wow.
And that was a big, yeah, this is
that was
back
at the
in
stage,
the days.
right?
This is, no, that was before the stage. This was at before Grand Central. No, this is around Grand Central time. Around the stage, because I opened up for
Grand Central, yeah. That's where, what is the name of the building? The Paramount?
Where is it? What is it now? Because they had to shut it down. Is it?
Yeah, that's the building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I
right
didn't
there
even know
by
that.
8th Street and 2nd Ave.
Bro, and this is like 10 years ago, bro. We were doing these type of moves.
Yeah.
And we had opened up for the Logs, opened up for Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Wow.
Bro, we've opened up for Dead Prez. I opened up for Smoke Dizza. We've opened up for Little Xan. Like, we were just knocking them out, you know? And then after a while, we're like, okay, what can we do to really reach to our community? Mm-hmm. So we started doing events at that point. And it was just like the same crew, man. It was just good vibes.
So you're always pushing, always doing new things.
We have to, brother. We have to.
Yeah, like when I got the message, like, yo, he wants to come out, I was like, damn, that's nice. That's cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was just watching the last few clips. I'm like, I like the conversation that's being had here because at the end of the day, like, you can be placed wherever, but if the conversation isn't good or it just looks good, but then when people tune in,
it's just
not
something
engaging.
that I believe, like, the reason I started this podcast is because I watched that movie with the, what is it called? Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. I don't think
that's the one with the human trafficking with the kids.
Oh, okay,
the one that came forever
like,
to come out on
2 years
Apple.
ago.
Yeah. So I watched that with my girl, and she felt like sad at the end, and she was crying, and she's like, "We got to do something." I'm like, started thinking, I'm like, what is there to do?
Yeah, what can we do?
What I'm saying? Like, yeah, we could go feed, and we could kind of like give advice, but there's nothing really we could do because the system is so concrete. That is like, yo, there's nothing you're gonna do. Like, we go to the border, and all we're gonna do is be helping them
and protesting.
Hold them, you're really not making a movement.
You're not making a real difference.
So then I told her, I was like, yo, you gotta have people wake up, and not just like wake up, but like understand. And the only way to understand is to understand self.
Definitely.
So I'm like, damn, man, how do I gotta start telling this to my clients. And then I was talking to my clients, and it just so happens that my producer Roger from Creative Courtesy is one of the clients.
Nice.
So he was like, man, you got to do a podcast.
Yeah, start something.
And I'm like, what? Podcast? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what's a podcast? You know, I knew, but I didn't know. Right. And then he educated me and told me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out.
Well, you're definitely good at it, brother. You're definitely good at it.
Thank you. And then everything started falling into play, like the design of the logo, this and that, and then it all.
Yeah, it's
like
a dominoes effect.
It probably happened with you when you started
it's a
writing
effect,
and performing. Like it just, and all of a sudden you're here. Like,
it makes it easier too. It makes the ride easier, the process easier, and you love it more.
And then I love telling people that like the universe doesn't make mistakes. You know,
definitely does.
So whenever you make a decision, it might be the right or wrong one, but as long as you use your intuition, you're gonna be guided the right direction.
Definitely. Because
you can't, like I tell Raj all the time, like with faith, you can't play with that. Like if you really truly believe in a higher source and you truly believe in yourself and you truly do what is best for you,
you're gonna manifest. Yeah.
Even if you go through a bad time, there's a reason for that bad time.
It's a process. That's what people don't want to do.
So that's why I was asking you in the beginning, like, yo, when you went to New York, how'd you feel about that? Because maybe that feeling is what really drove your ambition.
Man, to be honest,
like you know what, my mom is gone. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna really I don't need to feel down.
Yeah,
there's some people that go the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think I was like emotionless at that time. That's why I didn't really remember how I felt. That's why I had to bring a little forward. And I'm like,
you remember the cut, but you don't remember.
Yeah, and I'm like, why is that? You know what I mean? And that's maybe something I gotta really dig deep about.
Well, I read this book once about psychology that kids like. When you're a kid, you don't remember traumatic things because as a kid, it's the body's way, like a self-defense mechanism.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So when you're a kid and you're scared, you usually like zone out. And then when you grow older, they ask you like, you don't remember that? And they're like, oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Your body has its own defense mechanism.
Definitely
as a kid that blocks that off.
Yeah, that's crazy too, how the mind works. And
that
how
book,
the body
I wish I remember the name of that book, but I read it and I was like, yo, this is nuts. And
it throws it to like the subconscious and then
correct.
Okay.
And then it goes on to the psychiatrist like putting you into like a sleep.
Okay.
and then he'll talk to you, and then you start
It's kind of being brought up like word vomit.
you start remembering, but then when you come out of the trauma,
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
It's like to dibble and dabble like in the subconscious, to be like, I don't remember this, but then to close your eyes and be put in a trance, you're remembering things that when you were maybe 6 months old, or maybe you were still in the womb and stuff. I've seen so much stuff and read about it.
My first thought is a smell of paint. My aunt was getting married, and I remember waking up and I was like, "What the hell is that smell?"
The smell of paint.
And it was smell of paint. Now every time I smell paint, I'm there in that room. Wow. I remember waking up. I remember everything. It's nuts.
That's insane, because it's like so pinpoint for you.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like that when you're a kid, you go through trauma or something and you kind of block it off. But that's the body's own way of defending itself.
Yeah, I believe that, because that had to be it. Because at the end of the day, you know, I think my fondest memories were here in Miami. That's why I
over there
Miami.
You were mad, you're upset. You're like, yo, I don't need this.
Yeah, it's just I wasn't.
It was cold.
Like, it was cold. My friends weren't from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I had
you
to
wanted
start
to go
all
home,
over.
man.
And it was just real rugged up there. It's different, you know. Every city is different, because Miami is rugged. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, people don't understand that a few miles away from the
coastline, beach or from Hollandale,
it gets real.
They'll understand soon. They'll understand
they
soon
just
when
pass
once
by
they cross.
95. They don't really understand what's.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, at the end of the day,
Miami's big. Miami's a big place, man. It's just like Cali.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Miami's more of a vice, I think, man, because it's just so many things to do at all times.
But you know what's crazy? That I expect to do the exact same things I'm able to do in Miami, and it never feels the same, no matter what city I go to, unless it's, you know, you go on the other side of the world and you're doing different experiences than here. But I mean, like, being in the U.S., like, nah, man, ain't no city like 305.
I love Miami, man. Miami's my place. I mean, I wouldn't mind living in another place, but
this will always be home. Yeah,
because it's where even though it's changing a lot.
And that's the scary part about it. Me driving around, to me it is, because I feel like it's a lot of gentrification that's happening, and they're pushing everybody west.
Yeah, but that's
life.
It's always been the case.
Yeah,
from the indigenous people that were living here chilling.
Yeah, you're right.
And now they're ghosts. Where they live in
up north Florida.
Yeah, and then they have the little Miccosukee area, and that's theirs.
Yeah,
they used to dwell here and live. So it's just the way it is, man. People are always going to try to impose, and this is the way, and then people agree or disagree. But like I always tell people, like, yo, man, Miami's the place that can make you or break you, in the sense of, like, if you allow it to, it will drag you down, because it doesn't matter how much money you have.
You see it driving down the street. You see people in the streets, the homeless people that are strung out, people that have money and they have nobody to go to.
Yeah, and then there's artists and people that are on the come up, barbers or rappers
definitely.
Painters, and then if they do what they got to do, listen to the intuition, have that self-concept and self-awareness on point. Yeah. Trajectory is going to be to the sky. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. There's enough people here. There's enough things to do. We're good.
It's just about having tunnel vision also, brother.
Let's talk about that tunnel vision, man, because, okay, now you got the crew. Now you got the concept. What was the first album or first song that you were like, all right, bet, I'm here?
It was a record called Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Featuring Jew Hustle, is one of the homies from the old neighborhood. And that record, when we put the video out, it got so much good energy to it. And we were like, okay, this is weird, because people usually hate us. You know what I mean? Just in a sense, because we were in the streets. And if you weren't from where we're from, they didn't like us. You know what I mean? That's how everybody kind of was at that point, you know, at that age and stuff. But just coming out with that song, coming out with that video, it really changed the perspective of, like, okay, Hayes he's taking it serious.
And when was this? This was like,
this isn't maybe 20. Nah, brother. This
Even more?
Yeah, brother. Okay. I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this since I was 17, 18.
Nice.
So this is like 2014, brother. 2014, 2013. We've been really, like, pushing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, after that came out, we're just getting weird energy, but it was good. We're so used to getting bad energy from people and stuff. And it just sparked something, man. And from there, we were like, let's keep going.
And what made you keep going, even though you were getting the bad energy?
It was the feeling. Yeah, knowledge of self.
Yeah, there you
knowledge
go.
of self. Yeah, just knowing, man, that it made us happy, and for us, it brought togetherness between the brotherhood and just
you had your crew. So as long as your crew was good, Method Man says it.
Yeah, it was just like a weird feeling, man. I felt like we were all kind of dispersed. We were trying to find something.
They don't get it yet.
No, but they get it now.
Then they
get
start
it now.
getting it. Yeah,
Yeah, they
man,
get
I
it now.
bet.
Definitely. Shout out the team, man. I truly appreciate every single person on TGT.
That's great, man.
Everybody that's been with us, people that are still with us. You know, it's all been all love, and we're just pushing, man. We're
So
animals.
you made that first record.
That first record, that was part of the Ambitions of a Hustler mixtape that I had, and it was all original songs and stuff.
All this stuff is in your like Facebook or
No,
things
you
like
can't
that.
even. Hey, if somebody can find Ambitions of a Hustler, I'll give them $200 for it.
What?
$200 for it because that mixtape was on Dat Piff, and it's like is that Piff?
Nobody
even
has it on a hard drive nowhere. Nothing.
I don't know. People sometimes like sporadically through the years, people are like, "Hey, remember this?" And they'll send me something, and I'm like, "Go on, yo, this shit don't even have like the cover on it. It's me writing it at Business of a Hustler." You know what I mean? That was like before I actually dropped the physical CDs. We used to go around and pass them out everywhere, perform everywhere.
Man, the grind.
You know how it is. It was different back in the days before, you know, the DSPs and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, it was different before YouTube. As a barber,
yeah,
you had to learn the hard way.
Well,
now
do you feel like you have?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I learned it, but it was funny because I was watching videos the other day, and I'm like, man, these people don't have to leave their house. You could learn.
Not
Back
anymore.
in the days, you had to sit there and watch the barber cut for hours, so you could, and then they didn't.
You go to barber school and stuff.
Barber school.
Or you were saying you mentor.
I mean, barber school it's whatever, man. You go and they pretty much teach you the laws of barbering in the sense of like chemicals and you if you this happens and then HIV and all. That's what you really learn.
Okay.
Technique just now has been starting to really evolve. Because back then it was like you would go and pay the school, then they'll give you a receipt, and then you go take a test.
And then they say you're a barber.
And you're a barber.
Yeah, but meaning how you were saying technique and the style.
Yeah, that you had to go
develop. Yeah.
Other states, they have the apprentice program that you like you say you've been cutting for years. I just go to your shop, I apprentice with you, and then you sign off on me, and I get my license. That's how New York is.
That's how it was back in the days.
In other states, in Miami, they make you do like schooling for hours.
That's crazy because I've known like all the same barbers I've been around. I know they have certifications, but I never even asked them because I've seen them grow up. And
there's ways around things, you know.
Yeah, of course.
You know the right person, then you get around it. But my point was that there's no technique to learn from. So you go to YouTube and now you learn everything.
YouTube is the new school.
Just like AI now, you can make a beat, which just be like, I want a hip hop beat that sounds like Lil Wayne. Boom. 5 seconds later.
How much fun is that though? It's smart.
You said the word.
It's smart.
It's
but
smart,
how
but not
much fun?
It's not fun. Because people wanna jump. That's why we're here.
They want to microwave everything.
That's why we're here, bro. Because people want to go all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, definitely.
They don't want to work to it. And then when you know what happens when they get there, they're
not ready for it.
They're not ready for it. They didn't get the booze. They didn't get the hate. They just made a hit, and now they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those are usually the ones that crash out, man. And
I mean, we'll see, man. Right now, what I see is a lot of copycats, a lot of cookie cutter music, and then that's why when I saw that you're like R&B and hip, I'm like, that's dope.
Yeah, it's funny for more of like I don't really have like a huge audience, but in the sense I have a direct audience, and it's like
they like what they like, and you got what they like. Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean. So that's
you
where
know
I
what
was
reminded me of the Outkast, the double album.
Yeah,
that Big Boy had his rap, and then you had Andre 3000 doing.
Have you heard the new? Not to cut you off. Have you heard the new Andre 3000? The
flute?
Yeah.
Yes, I have heard it, and I've heard it in two contexts. I've heard it in the car the first time, and I'm like,
"What is this?
What is this?" You know, I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm waiting for the verse to come in, and I'm like, "Yo, this ain't coming."
Yeah, I'm a jazz head, so it's like to me,
I liked it, right? But I didn't like play it every day. I heard it once. I was like, all right, cool. I have an opinion. And then I was cleaning my house one day, and I threw it on there, and I was vibing. I was like, I was feeling it in a different context. So I was like, okay, this is what this is meant for. Either meditation or just chilling or just having it in the background sound.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Man, I think when I first heard of it, I was like,
because you were expecting something else.
I was expecting him to do lyrics and stuff, but nah, man, he felt, he felt like doing that. He probably couldn't put any lyrics to it, and what he had to do was use the instrument to.
And then again,
be able to
people were
it.
like, "Yo, I don't get this. This sucks." I'm like, "Bro, this suck. It's just not what you're
different.
into."
It's just different. Yeah,
different. And I applaud him for that because to do that, you got to have a lot of knowledge.
It's like what is the category of that type of music? It's more of.
I think it's more like
alternative,
like synchronizing or tuning or I don't know, meditation music.
Yeah, he definitely has knowledge of self because he knew. He's 100%. Like, I didn't care.
When they asked him why didn't he rap, he said, "What am I gonna rap about?"
But I don't agree on that either.
Me
I don't
either,
agree on that. But he knows
he knows
himself.
his audience, and he's like, I really got nothing to say. Like,
He went on tour right after that, so you know it.
Dude,
You know?
if he can make his money and do his thing and be happy, I'm all down for that. Now, do I want to hear him rap? Yes.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
And I'm upset that Tribe Called Quest, Outkast collabo never happened.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
It was happening. They had exchanged beats, and they were gonna start writing.
What was this? What year was this?
This was right before Fife passed away. Because Fife, I believe, they finished the last album that the Tribe had. I think it's called "This Is for the People."
Okay.
And then they were gonna work on that album, and it didn't fall through.
And "This Is for the People"
from what I recall.
Was dope, but man, that's.
Could you imagine that Tribe and?
Nah, I can't, because it blew my mind. To be honest with you,
I could.
It's like,
but I remember that, man. I remember listening to these, like Wu-Tang. The first time I heard it, I was like, "What is this?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
whoa.
this is different. This is
different. When I heard NWA, I was like, "What is this?" You know, I was like, "Whoa!" And you would get in trouble listening to this, man, because it was back in the days.
Back in the days, yeah.
It wasn't like today that you could just bump whatever and it's all good. Like
It's
back
crazy,
in the days, we had to go get a homeless guy. Like, yo, we'll give you $1. You go buy us, because it was the parent advisory.
Sam's Ash, or you go to
he will go in and we'll give him $1 and we'll get that. We're like, yeah,
that's crazy.
Because they wouldn't sell it to us.
Man, that's that feeling of having a CD and like purchasing it and going out of your way to get it. Man, that was a different type of feeling. Me and my friends, we used to skip school and go and do the same thing. Like, yo, we gotta go get that new 50 Cent that came out, or you know what I mean? Like,
you ever bought one and then opened it and it didn't have it? You're like, what the fuck? It just had the hardcover. That was like the sales rack or something.
No, brother, we were like such hip hop heads that we were like, yo, if it didn't have it, we'll complain, bro. We'll throw, you know what I mean? We'll fucking throw the CD across the thing.
Times. I bought it and then I would open it and it's just the cover. They didn't have the open book. I'm like, what the hell?
Nah, you can't buy them off the streets, bro. You got to go straight to the store.
That's when I was like, bootleg. Damn it.
We used to there was a store. It was a CD store in South Beach we used to come to, and it always had all the new shit, like all the new music.
By 13th and Washington.
I believe so.
It was a reggae.
It was it was a big department store. I forgot what it was called. Was it? I think it was Specs.
That's on 5th and Washington.
It was next to the bridge, definitely. So yeah.
Yeah, you get off and then you go down. It's right there, and now it's a Walgreens, I believe.
Man, Specs. It had like the 2 floors. You go in and put the headphones on. That experience. Yeah. Bro, that just made me. That made me fall in love with music even more.
I was talking about. I think it was Uncle Sam's. It was a store in South Beach called Uncle Sam's. I think I'm getting it right, bro. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But music is now, I wouldn't say that it's dying out, but I think there's an opportunity for a lot of artists to evolve, man.
And that's what I think has been happening in certain areas. You know what I mean? That's why, to me, I've been, maybe the last 4 or 5 years, I've been branching out and collabing with different people and different sounds and melodies and really pushing myself to limits, because then if not, then it gets boring.
Exactly.
It gets boring. You lose passion for it. Then everything sounds, like how you said, cookie cutter.
Cookie cutter, man. Everybody's sounding like this artist or sounding like that artist. Nobody's really doing their own thing. And if they do, nobody's supporting it in a way.
It's because people want to hear, people want to be told what to do.
People want likes, man. People want, view my, this is good. Oh, look, it has 1,000 views. It has to be good. Oh, this artist has 500,000 followers or 2,000.
Yeah.
Like,
and then those are the artists that they don't sell because they don't have a real fan base.
Or they do sell. That's the problem.
Or they do? Well, yeah, single wise, I think so. But which artists right now do you feel like can be sort of discredited, like having a lot of followers and then not selling? Because I've heard it a few times. I don't want to say any names right now.
Selling, but the thing is that it's an industry, right? And there's a machine driving it. It's like a machine, right?
Definitely.
So whatever they put out there in the masses is gonna make money. Like it's not something that nobody knows. Like these record labels put a lot of marketing dollars into artists that really are not that good. But if you constantly hear it every day, everywhere. You're like,
it's not that.
Yeah,
it starts growing
exactly.
on you. It starts growing on you.
It starts growing on you. Then you're like, it's not that bad. But then at the end of the day, you're like, man, this is not what I like. And then you'll go back to what you like listening to.
Yeah.
You go to Spotify, you'll find a new artist. And
You're right on that. That's why I was trying to pick your brain up. Was like, what do you really think about current? But, there's a lot of stuff that's dying out. There's a lot of stuff that's being made and dying out by next year. So... And then there's things that's being carried on. Yeah,
because people are throwing and see what sticks. Oh, let's see if this works. Oh, yeah, it was good. Now let's try this.
But that's why they say the record labels are failing now. And that's why there's no real A&Rs. The artists are their own A&Rs.
I think they're failing because they can't sell physical copies.
It's non-existent though, brother. You go into your car now, anything 2020, 2019, there's no CDs in there.
No,
There's no
what
CD
I'm
players.
saying is that they can't make money from it. So it's dying out because they're like, you know what? Let's just put whatever. And I know this is a fact. The algorithm, record labels are choosing their artist according to the algorithm.
The algorithm. To numbers,
so whatever
yeah.
algorithm and numbers are at that time, they're like, okay,
Mhm.
let's get this guy off the shelf and throw him in there. And then
Yeah.
he becomes a little artist that makes money and noise, and then he dies out. And then the algorithm
Yeah.
shifts, and then there's another artist. But that gives opportunity to artists, like I said, to evolve and
Mhm.
shine and make more noise that they can't deny it.
Who's a new artist that you feel like right now that's maybe that not slept on but still kind of underground but is starting to take up space right now?
Paulo Lofton.
Apollo Lofton, okay.
Paulo Lofton, for the simple fact that he kind of has a trajectory and he keeps riding that
Pushing
wave.
on it.
Yeah, and he doesn't shift. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's one artist that I feel Mayday.
Mayday. So I opened up for Mayday actually.
Mayday has always
Yeah.
been on art.
They've always been dope,
They've
yeah.
been
Learned
getting
them.
bigger and bigger in the sense of like their art, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, if you don't have a big machine pushing you, it's kind of hard to be out there constantly. And then
You
we
gotta
get
just be
older, and
putting
we have
money in.
families, and like you said, it takes time and effort, and it's just.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's just from Miami. You know,
Definitely.
Joey Badass, to me, he's already blown up, but I've been listening to him from the beginning. He's one of the
Yeah.
artists that I'm like, yo, this guy is on another level.
He's dope. Yeah.
Now he's
definitely.
kind of shifting it and steering a different, but he's in a different tax bracket now. So I could understand
Nah,
that
he got yeah. He's getting different type of deals and stuff
I
and brand
understand
deals.
that
and
now
stuff.
he's kind of like riding the wave, but still like
He's kind
okay,
of creating his wave also. Still riding it, but he's
Exactly.
kind of creating it because that's why they brought him in to do those brand deals, you know. I don't know, I don't remember specifically, but he's been doing his thing for a while, for a hot minute now.
You heard the new Kendrick?
Yeah, the GNX. Yeah, what is it? GNX, but what does it stand for? Grand National?
I don't know what it stands for, but I was listening to it and he did all the samples from old school like hit records.
He did what Tupac did.
That was amazing. I was
He did
like,
what
yo,
Tupac
that's
did,
dope
yeah.
because you're bringing that old school vibe with the new flow.
Yeah.
And now you got rid of all the
Yeah, I couldn't
battling.
right now. I can't even get off of the Kendrick right now, bro. It's like
I
so
just
crazy.
like to listen what he says because sometimes I pick up on little metaphors. I'm like, oh shit, that's what he meant.
But I mean, like, this shit is slapping. So, you know, you go to the West Coast right now, they're bumping that shit heavy. I remember before Nipsey had passed and me and my
Yeah.
partner, we had went to LA just to hang out and, you know, build some connects. And when Victory Lap came out, yo, they really everywhere, like windows down, like it was crazy at that time. And I kind of think, I'm like, have we ever really had that in Miami? Like after
The thing is that
after
Miami
Ross?
artistry is not like a fellowship. That's what I'm trying
Why
to
do
get.
you why do you feel like that?
Just the upbringing, man. In the sense, I believe it stems from like the '80s because I'm from the '80s and I
Mhm.
remember living here in the '80s and everything was very like separated, and then we got thrown into the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Cubans, then you had Haitians, and you have Colombians and then Brazilians, and it was like a melting
it's
pot,
a melting pot. That's
which
why I think,
created
yeah, too.
like a nice environment, but at the same time, people kept to their own. And then you have your little crews, and then they keep to their own. And then you
Yeah.
have Kendall, then you have North Miami, then you have the
Mhm.
beach, and then you have Hialeah. It never
Everybody-
merges. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And even like when, like for instance, shows that you've done, I'm sure you've seen that there's little sectors.
Yeah, and that
to me
and that
is
sucks,
not an
man.
artist fellowship. I would like for like the city to host something, and Crazy Hood is doing it. They did it.
They
in,
did the- They
I forgot
did
the name of it, but every year they're doing
Yeah.
it. And it's dope. Shout
The
out to
Crazy
EFN
Hood.
and shout out to Garcia and all of them.
what
man.
was it? It was a Crazy Hood Day.
Crazy Hood Day?
I was there. I went there. I had passed
I was
by
gonna
a
go,
bit.
man, but I was tired. I'm like, bro, I can't do
Yeah,
this.
I
no
was
more.
exhausted also. I was like, yo, let me pull up, you know, because them boys been showing love, man. Shout out.
Yeah. No, I was
Crazy
gonna
Hood,
do it. I
shout
was gonna
out.
do it, but I was like, yo, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I had to wake up super early. I got the kids. I got to,
No,
it's
facts,
different.
facts.
It's different.
Yeah,
Back
I
in the
heard
days,
that.
I would have been there. I would have
Yeah,
been
I
there
heard
buying EFN a drink.
Nah, shout out Paul and them and EFM, man. They've been doing their thing for a hot minute, man. And they've
Yeah,
been showing
no.
a lot of Miami artists love. The Miami meets Miami. Like, that's dope. You know what I mean? We were on I think,
That's
session
an artist
6.
fellowship. You
And it
feel
was
me?
dope. And at that time, it was crazy that it's in a way getting better because at that session, we all kind of knew each other. We were like, hey, what's up? You here too? We were like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
And
the artist
and-
fellowship that they're creating, which I salute them. Man.
Yeah,
That's just awesome.
definitely, man.
In the
definitely.
sense of like community. And that's what
Definitely.
we don't have here. Why did Atlanta blow? Because they had a little community.
Because everybody can step in each other's studio and no ego and do some
They
music.
they all collectively like made a movement.
And that's crazy to me, brother. Not to cut you off, I apologize, because this is something that's been happening for a long time between even the local artists and independent artists. Like, bro, I have people, inquiries about features or collabs and stuff, or when I'm like asking them about features or just inquiring, or we're saying, hey, look, this artist I think will sound good on this record, and everybody's ego is crazy, bro. Yo, I need 1,500. You need 1,500. I like to pay the hustle. I like to pay the hustle. Just to go to my point, I like to pay the hustle, but I mean, brother, if you really haven't put in that work, why do you feel like your value is that? Oh, because I have a lot of TikTok fans. But what money is that? Are you monetizing that? How much money are you really bringing in a month? If you can stay off this record, then that is gonna establish your value, and then from there, I'll pay you the 2, 3, 4, whatever your value is, because I believe in you, I believe in us.
There's no system,
but there's none of that now. There's none of that.
Everybody like learned the system from somewhere else, and then they brought it here, and they're like, "This is how we do it."
This is a melting pot. It's a melting pot.
I think somebody has to step up and be like, "Yo, let's do this." You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Crazy Hood is doing now. They're kind of like implementing their ways, their day. They have the Miami Meets Miami. Have you gone to that one?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We were part of session 6.
You went to that one.
We were part of session 6. Yeah, me and
I think
Jeff.
Apollo was on that one too.
No, I think he was on the one after. I'm not.
Or before.
I know he wasn't on the same one because I'm familiar with Apollo. Everybody. He's been putting in work in Miami. Shout out Apollo. And I don't think he was there at that one. It was like us. Shout out Webbs. They had a few people. It was a few people. Amari Love. It was and it was a beautiful thing.
That might
be
the birth of it, man. That might be the start of what's
I really
new.
hope they keep doing it, man. Because every time I see them, I'm like, yo, I salute these guys, man. Because nobody's really doing that. Nobody nobody at that stature. You know what I mean? So
that's what we need to answer your question.
Definitely.
To make Miami good.
Definitely.
And if you lead the way or help lead the way, it's even better.
Well, with leaders like us in the community, I think we should be able to.
We're starting it off, right? We're doing our thing.
I think, this is putting the word out, man. Being knowledge of self, how you're going to be able to really,
help somebody develop their self-concept.
Yes.
To have the knowledge of self.
Exactly.
Awesome, brother. So, okay, you did the tracks, you did the albums. How many albums do you have out already?
Man, at this point that I still have out, because I had mixtapes that were never put on the DSPs and stuff. This is back in the days. But right now, I think I have 3 albums that are out, and then I have a few EPs and singles. I'm kind of going for not quantity, but more quality.
I like that.
You know what I mean? And like anytime you listen to my music, it's like you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the point of, okay, how is he feeling, what space, what mood he was in. So that's that kind of displays of like, okay, this year I've been feeling great. You're gonna see me put out a lot of quality, great music. You know what I mean? And then other years, maybe I'm, you know what I mean? Going through the trials, going through the process. You might see me put out one project. It might be a little, more rap than R&B. You know what I mean? But
I like that, man, because you're actually expressing a feeling.
You got to, brother. You can't be afraid. So to answer your question, I have like 3 albums and a few singles and stuff. But if you listen to each one, you're gonna see that of quality. You're gonna love them in different ways.
2 last singles, those are part of a mixtape?
The last one is For the Set. Shout out Jeff Stones. That's part of our group called The Set. So that's like a different entity under TGT. Me and Jeff Stones together. Guys. So we're releasing music through there, and then Jeff is releasing music. I'm releasing music, and we're just pushing, brother. Yeah, pushing. It's a beautiful thing.
And what's the other single? The R&B one?
The R&B one is Cautious. That's the last one. But man, I had just finished up my project, man, just last week. Me and Brandon were like, yo, damn, we're here. All right, now we got to pick the singles and go through the content and stuff. Wow. But I'm going to be releasing that like first quarter. And then we're releasing group music also, just to, keep them on their toes, man, because keep us on our toes.
You're performing right now in Art Basel.
Yes,
you're making moves.
Yes. Shout out DBD. Hands. Yeah, shout out DBD. That's one of the shows for today. And then Jeff Stones, man, he's on tour this week. So I'm just kind of supporting him, supporting the homie, and just popping out, performing where we can, and putting our names out there.
Well, there's a project that I'm working with Omniscient and a couple of other artists.
Nice.
It's called the 305 Alliance.
Nice.
So we're gonna make like a mixtape.
Okay,
and
cool.
we're gonna handpick the artists, but we're still trying to develop
the sound of it.
Yeah, like I don't know if I want to make it like something that builds or something that just drops hard, or like
a little bit of both. I think.
We were talking about artist fellowship, 305 Alliance, do a little mixtape, and we throw it out there.
That'll be great.
Make some noise.
Man, I haven't heard somebody doing that in a long time. Yeah. Something like that, like a physical project.
Well, people don't do it because, like you said, they want to get paid. They want to do this. I don't want to get paid. I just want to make that because, like if I could make something like podcast, if I could make something like a mixtape
Yeah.
or an EP or whatever, why not?
It'll be good for the city. It definitely will be. We need more of it. We need
Hell
10 folds of it, because at the end of the day, like how you said, you go anywhere else and you see that, you know?
Yeah, we got to develop and we got to make things that are for us, by us. That way we could express who we are, you know, because people see us in Miami, it's like you said, melting pot. Nobody
They're like,
really
oh,
knows.
they come here and they're like, oh, where you from? Instead of being like, knowing you're from Miami, you've been here. Oh, my.
Yeah, but that's hard, dude.
Yeah, my parents are Cuban Dominican and stuff, so it is difficult. But there are people that've been here, bro, since the 60s. You know what I'm saying? They from Overtown to up to
But you have to go in the city.
Yeah,
not
to
like
know that.
You can't be like in South Beach or even
Sunny
the Grove area.
Isles or
Sunny Isles. Once you pass that bridge and you pass Ball Harbor and you keep going, that's
Yeah.
when you start. Okay, this is the city.
This is North Miami Beach. This is North
Exactly.
Miami. This is
I used to dwell out there because we used to like go to Krispy Kreme a lot.
Nice. Oh, right there on 6th Avenue. Yeah.
I used to go to 163rd Street Mall because they had the Jordans always.
Yeah.
So I had to go over there and I had to chill.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do a lot of things out there. It was cool. I had a couple of friends that I would hang out.
Yeah. To be honest, it's like the tourists, you know, after a while being so consumed with tourism, you're out here, if you're hustling or trying to get jobs, you're always around these people that are coming into Miami. I just like to break away.
Does
brother.
that affect your music?
Not really. Not anymore. It used to, because people used to come down and be like, we want to hear this, but they weren't here for that long.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So in the sense of just trying to please everybody, being a people pleaser.
People, please.
You know what I mean? Like, before knowing, like, you know what, I have to do what's best for me and what I love to do. And then eventually either people are going to love it or they're going to hate it, but they're going to listen. Because if you go hard at
it's
it.
original.
If you
go
hard
from
at
the heart.
it. Exactly, brother. It's passionate, man. It's passionate. Definitely.
All right. So, like, I usually finish the interview with like a few questions, right? So, you seen the movie The Bronx Tale?
I did, yeah.
You seen the part where Sonny asked him, not Sonny asked him, the kid asked Sonny, would you rather be feared or loved?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
It's crazy to say, but I'd rather be feared.
Okay.
Because love can always overturn. But once somebody has that, you know what I mean? Like, they can add to it, like, oh, maybe he's a little.
So feared, you would rather be feared than loved.
Unfortunately, yes. From the time that we're in, it's like you gotta pray for the best, but you gotta stay dangerous.
I hear you. All right, and then the other question is perception or reality?
I think perception, man. Because you manifest what you see, what you believe, what you feel, what you push, what you think of.
Creates your reality.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah, man, those are it. The two questions. I was trying to work on another question, but it's like, I was thinking maybe wealth or riches.
Man, I'm from the fucking slums, dog. I would say wealth, because getting to that wealth, you're gonna really, if you're a true person of self.
Define wealth. What is wealth to you?
Well, wealth is money. Just just having a lot of things and having a lot of
abundance?
Money and no, I think that's riches.
Okay.
Riches is in the sense of having abundance, having peace of mind, having things that people can't really feel or can't touch. Let me rephrase that. They can't touch. It's more of like how you feel and the riches of being a man of family and being able to, you know what I mean? Like, in that sense. But I would say wealth, bro, because
wealth all day.
To get to the wealth, you're going to go through the process, man. You're going to go through the process. And at the end of the day, if you're a good man, you're a good person.
There you go. You nailed it.
You're going to learn.
As long as you have the faith, stay righteous.
Definitely.
They gave you a cheat sheet. It's called the 10 Commandments. You just follow that.
Definitely, yeah.
And you listen to your intuition, self-concept, self-awareness, and have a knowledge of self, you're straight.
That's a fact, brother. Yeah, that's well put.
It's easy, dude. It's like a cheat sheet. Like, yo, follow the cheat sheet. It's 10 Commandments.
Yeah, but how do you know that when you're younger? You don't really, when you're in your teens.
Now they know because you're gonna write about it because we have it in the podcast. Like you spread that knowledge.
Definitely.
Artist fellowship. You not preach, but you say the words that really truly mean something, and people that
gravitate towards
and the people that understand will know that this is the real, and then they can identify what's not.
Definitely.
You know?
Well put, brother.
But let everybody know how to reach you. Let everybody know what's coming up next, and then your handles and all that. Let them know.
Yes, sir. Well, again, my name is Marcolen Hayes from TGT Entertainment. Also from the set. We had just dropped For the Set. That's out now. Bro, we're pushing MARCOLEN_HAYES. That's my Instagram and Twitter. Just follow us, man. TGT Entertainment, TGT_ENT. And just tune in, man. We have a lot of new music dropping. We actually have another group record dropping in about 2 weeks. All right. So y'all make sure y'all look out for that. That's gonna be going crazy. But right now, listen to For the Set, By the Set.
Yes. Listen to the bass. Turn that up all the way.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for coming, man. Blessed.
Yes, sir, Gene. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
man. Live, love, laugh. Peace, guys.